Massive congratulations to you both. Definitely a different role for you, RJ, and Cody. Just in terms of the layout of the film, it's something that I've not really seen in the horror genre before for a while. In terms of, you know, for having a single location film but a non-linear format like that, and it just highlights the importance of storytelling in not just in the genre of horror but in the genre of cinema as a whole. So for yourself, Cody, where did that inspiration come from? And then RJ, what was it that attracted you to this project?
Um, so it originally was like a stage play that Ari Millen, who plays Michael, was in. That happened in 2013, and shortly after that, Ari sent me the script and was like, "You got to read this. This would make like a great adaptation." And of course, at the time, I was kind of like, adapting a play wasn't really what I wanted to do. So it took a few years for me to read. And I was like, it was actually on a flight to LA, and I read it. And like, as soon as I landed, I called Ari and the writer, Peter Genoway. And I was just excited by the challenge of trying to, usually in movies, it's, show, don't tell. And this is like the reverse, just to see or just to into a challenge of trying to tell this type of story in this type of setting, and make it engaging for an hour and a half. So it was a challenge, but I think what drew it to me was just the writing jumped off the page, and I was just excited to sort of bring visuals to.
And then what about for yourself, RJ? What was going through your mind when you first read that script?
Like Cody just said, the visuals jumped off the page, and like there's this very clear image in my head on what this movie is and what this story is, and it's a unique story. It's a storytelling film, and it's one of those lost arts in cinema of just having a great story told through the art of film. And for me, that was something that was very unique and special that I haven't seen in projects before. So when they came to me and they were interested in me for this role, and I read it, it just really registered with everything that I like on film and on paper when it comes to cinematic art.
Yeah.
And the heart behind projects. It just, everything registered.
And then Cody, translating that from the page to the screen, this is a film built on tension, and in terms of the slow burn format, it definitely pays off in the final third, and it requires the viewer to be constantly paying attention to every line of dialogue and everything that the viewer's seeing in person on the screen. What were the inspirations in terms of the filmmaking aspect, in terms of tension building? Was there anything from any other films that you've seen that you're a fan of that you applied to this one?
There was no sort of one specific film. I mean, I'm a big fan of anything by the Coen brothers. I think they've got obviously they're masters of what they do, and some of the early stuff like Blood Simple, that was, even the trailer for that and everything, it almost felt like a horror movie. But I think we kind of approached each vignette as if it was like its own short film.
Yeah.
And we tried to make sure that there was either new information learned or some sort of tension building, so that once we put all these pieces together, it would just be that sort of like the train going off the tracks as it went. But yeah, a lot of attention to detail in movement of the characters and dialogue and stuff like that, to make sure that we always were building to something.
Awesome. RJ, your camera's gone off for a second.
Sorry, I don't know. Yeah, weird. I'm still here. I can see y'all.
Don't worry. Yeah, just in terms of what you had to do for this role, in terms of sinking your teeth into a role, every character in the film has sort of skeletons in the closet. There's a lot more than meets the eye, and a lot more under the surface with every character. How fun was it to sink your teeth into a character like that? Oh, you're back now. I can see you, by the way. You're all good.
Cool. No, it was great. And Peter, who played opposite of me in these scenes, really was great to play off of. And every bar that was raised from the set to the acting, anytime everyone would raise the bar, it just kept getting pushed higher and higher and higher in every scene, from us acting to the crew itself. And everyone cared about this project, everyone believed in this project, and we enjoyed it. And that's a win. That doesn't happen to every project. And it's good to have something where it's not finite. A lot of characters are very finite. They're very like it's an A, a B, and a C. And with these characters, it was really kind of just like an open alphabet of information on how far emotionally you could go with these characters. And I think Cody, as a director, was really good about just try everything. Try go big, go small, and get in, and allowing a space to be created where it was a real environment to a degree. And that's something that when you have that type of open and transformative environment where everything can be maneuvered and utilized, as an actor, you're not just stuck with the basic railroad like tracks. You can kind of like have free range on what you're doing and where you go, and then grow from there with the character. And that's unique. And I think that's what made this movie very special.
And I've seen that this film has come across a lot of horror film festivals. I'm from the UK, I'm from Manchester, and it was in Grimfest last year. Just in terms of your experiences with horror, both of you, I just want to geek out with you guys for a second. What were the earliest horror memories for you both? And then what's been your favorite horror memory in the cinema as a fan?
Cody?
One set. I think Cody's joining back.
Oh, no worries. Well, here, I'll go.
Okay.
For me, I think with horror, it was the Friday the 13th, the Halloweens,
Yeah.
Even Alien.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, Alien was a scary movie, man.
Yeah.
And I love horror. I love gore. I love all these types of like mediums of thrill. And this is a great thriller film in the sense of it's not just a hack and slash and horror. It's a psychological thriller that takes you on a journey. And for me, that's something that when it comes to horror is such an important thing and such a cerebral thing that I love it.
Cody, what about yourself? I don't know if you missed that question, but it was just wanting to nerd out with you for a second. What are your favorite and earliest horror film memories from going to the cinema as a fan of the genre?
I feel like the first really scary movie I saw, which was funny because it's so funny to watch now, but I think I saw Evil Dead 2 when I was far too young.
Yeah.
And then I think my first movie that I saw in theater, or at least the first genre movie that really was like, holy shit, is my one of my best friends growing up. His dad snuck us into Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And that was just like mind blowing. And I remember we had to go in late and we sat at like the front row, but like just that opening of that movie, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
And then another question for both of you. I'll start off with you, Cody. This film is a prime example of what you can achieve on a low budget in a single location in any genre, regardless of whether you're working with a horror project or a thriller or action or anything. Is this something that you pride yourself on as a filmmaker, showing it to other young filmmakers and actors what they can achieve in those situations? Because I'm guessing, RJ, for you as well, it's very testing of your abilities as an actor to have a limited amount to work with in terms of that you're surrounded. It's just the characters. So we'll start with you, Cody, and we'll move on to RJ's answer afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because we definitely had like a tiny budget, but enough to do it properly. But I think Black Fawn Films, we don't necessarily pride ourselves on doing things like cheap or anything or doing low budget, but I think we do pride ourselves on pushing whatever budget we have as far as we can kind of take it. And I think for a movie like this, budget or not, it all relies on the chemistry of the actors and the talent on screen. And so, like, hats off to RJ and Peter and Nicholas Campbell and Ari and Martin Roach and everybody, just because again, it's like if we had $5 or $1 million, it's still, it relies on their talents. So it's
yeah. And for yourself, RJ?
I want to say the reverse. I worked on many low budget, ultra low budget, and high budget projects as well. And with Oak Room, yes, we may have been in the low budget category, but we didn't act low budget. There was nothing low budget about the quality and content of our work. So like when it came down to the standards and the abilities of the set and the crew, it was as high end as you can get. And that's something that was just amazing to see and to see the set they created. Because like luckily for us, it was just the singular room, a very walled off space, but there's so much inside of it to be able to utilize and maneuver around and create these types of environments with, that we had everything we needed. We didn't need anything else to make this movie happen. We had exactly what we needed when we needed it, and everything just worked seamlessly, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but ask Cody. No.
No, it went pretty smooth, man. I agree. It's like, we had everything we needed, so that was good.
Good man. And just for yourself, RJ, it's no secret that you grew up in front of many fans' eyes on Breaking Bad. Now, I just want to know, for yourself as an artist and actor, how much have you changed as an actor and a person since that first day on set to where you are now? Because it's nearly been 10 years since the show was even finished.
Yeah, I mean, it's been over 10 years since we started. It's been nearly 10 since we finished. Yeah, no, I changed a lot of who I am and just kind of more knowledge along the way, and just always learning every day, always a new adventure, always something happening. There's a lot of information when you do these projects and you grow from these. And you work with different groups along the way. You definitely pull information from everyone and you learn from everyone around you, and always growing, man. Never a dull moment.
Cody, just for yourself to have RJ as part of the film, I'm guessing that you were a fan of Breaking Bad as well. I think it's speak for everyone who is a fan of cinema and television. If you've not seen it, you're going to be a fan of it. What was it like working with RJ, and in terms of your preconceptions, having seen him in the show, if you have watched it, and then to have wrapped up on filming?
Well, obviously, huge fan of Breaking Bad. And when we were tossing around ideas for, who would play the lead, RJ's name came up, and I was pumped. And I think we actually, it's funny, this doesn't happen all the time, but I think we went to RJ for the role, and you were on another movie, I think, or just finishing something.
I just finished another project. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually figured out a way to juggle the shoot, and we waited a couple months just so we could work together, which like never happens. You can never push a movie, but again, that's something that's like special about indie filmmaking. You can really like manipulate it. Like if this was a huge budget movie and RJ wasn't available, it's like you can't shift anything. So but yeah, I think I mean seeing RJ's performances in Breaking Bad are fantastic, but you gotta see the Oak Room to really see those chops come out.
Yeah. And then just in terms of your career, Cody, how does this rank among your proudest achievements as a filmmaker? I know you've done a film after this. Yeah, where does this rank among your proudest achievements?
It's funny because when I sort of got into the industry, I didn't set out to sort of make horror films, and it's funny, even in the Oak Room, I don't think we ever looked at it as a horror film, like not in the writing, not on set, not even in the first edit. It's funny that it's like, I guess I just put some of the horror film background I had into it, and people just sort of took that and went with it. But I'm super proud of this one, just because I think a lot of the films I did previously were, same sort of low budget kind of stuff, but kind of relied on scares and gore and stuff like this. And this one's always going to stick out just because there's nothing to lean on in this. There was no like, oh well, it's that didn't work, but this gore scene will get everybody, or that scares, the acting here didn't really work, but that scare is going to suck people in.
Yeah.
It was like we had, and the actors too, there's no safety net.
Mm.
So to like come out of this film and have the reviews that we've gotten, and the accolades from festivals and stuff is amazing.
And RJ, for yourself, the camaraderie between yourself and the other lead actor in the film, there's very much at odds with each other throughout the film, but there's also like playful banter there as well. What was that like, working with him and sort of getting that across on screen, that idea?
Great. Peter really had his character down pat, and what he was projecting, and so really the camaraderie and the banter was just like so easily flowed with each other, and me and him got along really well. So when it came to the grisly nature of the character, and his character's really trying to hate my character, and my character trying to be sympathetic, everything just worked well, and the conversations just had that intensity, but at the same time the peppered with caring, because we do care about each other in real life. So it just really worked out well on this project, with every element that you could possibly think of, from the camaraderie offset to the camaraderie onset, and that's and that really makes a big difference when it comes to like what you see on camera and off camera, because the audience can see it. And what Cody said earlier is so true, is we didn't see this as a horror movie, right? This wasn't like, yes, it's suspenseful and it has these airs of like, oh my god, but at the same time it really was just journey of a story, and this camaraderie between these two members of a broken family, really. And that's something that was just really amazing, and registered with everyone on set, and it really it really just took us, we were just catalysts, and the story would just flew.
Yeah, because that idea, of a broken family, and having these very long, in-depth, incredibly detailed, and sometimes difficult to watch conversations, they were something that you were a part of a lot of the time in Breaking Bad. And just one question about that is, was there a time when you were on set, filming a scene where you thought, wow, I'm witnessing television history now, I'm part of something really special? I'm guessing there's a handful of those moments, to be honest.
Yeah, there are moments like that, but you don't really know you're in a moment like that until it's after the fact. Until you're like, you do it, and you're like, you're doing these scenes, and then you go, man, that was a great scene. And then people are like, no, that wasn't just a great scene. That was a special scene. That was a unique scene. And we don't make cinema to be the best we do it to tell a story, and to do it to inspire, and to evoke emotions into people. And Apparently, if you do that, people really like it.
If you do it well.
Well, well, you hope you do it well,
Yeah,
and you
true.
hope you
You always
convey
try.
it. You try, but we do, and luckily the Oak Room has that.
Yeah. Just another question in terms of you guys as generic film fans in general. We've all been deprived of going to the cinema amongst other things in this time. And in the UK's perspective, cinemas are opening on May the 17th, and there's a handful of films coming out. I'm not sure what it's like over there for you guys, whether cinemas have opened, but what are the films that you can't wait to go and experience in the cinemas over the next 12 months, if you can handpick any, you guys?
So I'm in Toronto, Canada. So we're still our shit's still pretty fucked up. But so I don't know when theaters are going to open again. But I've been holding off to watch The Tenant, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to watch it in the theater, because everybody I know has seen it, but I keep avoiding reviews online and stuff, and I just want to see it for real the first time. So I'm waiting for that one. I'm excited to see that one.
That moment.
Yeah, totally. If that happens.
I'm in the States, so we've had cinemas open for a minute. So we're very lucky for that. But I haven't really been to the cinema. I have a movie in the cinema right now called Triumph.
Yeah.
But I watched Beetlejuice the other day. Cause where I'm at, I could rent the theater out and for like $50. And
Wow.
And went out and watched Beetlejuice, and I don't know yet. I haven't decided what new movie I want to see.
Okay, cool, guys. Well, I massively appreciate both your time. I know it was a bit tricky to sort out with both your busy schedules, so I really appreciate it, man. Like, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I'm a big fan of the film. Something really unique from both of you guys. Your performance, RJ and Cody, your vision, what you established from page to screen. So yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Don't worry about it at all. Don't worry. I hope the premiere goes well today, RJ, and
It will.
I hope the situation improves over there.
It's something, all right. It's just 90-0, but hey, y'all have a good day.
Good man.
You
All right,
too.
see you in a bit. Bye bye.